Good morning all. From past a few discussions we have discussed about DML, that is manipulation language, which was helping us to manipulate the tables which are present in our database. Now the second category of language as per our earlier discussion is DDL, that is data definition language. This data definition language allows the specification of not only the set of relations but also the information about each relation, which it helps you to define every relation or table. Not only define but also describe its structure, what will be the names of columns, what will be the data types of columns. All these kind of discussions, all these kind of descriptions will be mentioned using DDL, along with what relation the two tables share. But not only that, it includes the schema of each relation. What do you mean by schema? Schema means the skeleton or a structure of a table or a relation. The domain of values associated with each attribute. Domain means the data type of every attribute. That means every column present in that relation. The integrity constraints. Integrity constraints means some compulsions, some constraints we impose on the data, like the primary key cannot be null, few values cannot be null, or it should follow a particular value or a range of values. Those kind of constraints we impose on the data which has to be entered in the DBMS. So that also can be declared using or defined using data definition language. The set of indices to be maintained for each relation, this will come later, but yes, it also helps you to define the index if the table is very huge, very large, and huge amount of data is present in that, along with the security and authorization information for each relation, who are all authorized to access that relation, what are the security aspects which we can impose, and the physical storage structure of each relation on the disk, means on what, in what pattern, in what type we are expected to uh, store that relation in the physical disk. So data definition language is actually the first part of our should be the first part of our discussion, but to make it comfortable, I covered DML first, and then now I am trying to cover DDL. So DDL is important to define the complete structure of the table so that it will be easy for us to uh, access that table or manipulate that table. Okay, so again I'll repeat, it defines the schema or structure, it defines the domain types or data types of the attributes, it defines the integrity constraints which we are putting on that, along with the indices, security and authorization mechanisms. Okay, so these things you are supposed to keep in mind, and that's what we are going to study. What are the commands which can fall under DDL category in SQL that we are going to see today. So first of all, we need to, as we did in C language or any of the programming language, the first thing which we learn is what kind of data type it supports, right? Similarly, what kind of data types SQL supports, that we are going to see, but instead of saying it as a data type, we are going to see it as call it as a domain type. The terminology we used here will be the domain, because we are referring to the column in a relation as a domain, and whatever constraints we are imposing on that data type or that attribute will be followed by all the values which are going to be entered in that column or in that domain. Okay, so first we will get introduced with what kind of domain types the SQL supports. This will not be a new thing for you, as you are well aware about the programming languages. So we'll have a brief discussions toward that. Character n will be a fixed length character string which will be user defined length n, but it has to be n, not a character lesser or greater than n. But that won't be more popular. Instead of that, we most of the time we are using the second data type called as varchar, that is variable length character string, which can take maximum n characters. It can take lesser than that, of course not greater than that. So variable length, the length can vary from 1 to n. Integer, small int, no need to tell. Numeric, which is a a real number, a floating point number which is supported, where total number of digits will be p out of n, d will be the digits after uh, the decimal point. Okay, so a floating point number can also be defined. Real or double precision, the advanced version of floating point numbers, along with a normal float of n size. There you need not to be very particular about how many digits will be there after uh, uh, your decimal point and all. So will be of n digits, which will include the decimal part also, the floating point number. That is also supported. Along with that, the domain types also supports date data type, time data type, in few cases money data type. In advanced version of SQL or DBMS, these things are also possible, but right now we are going to deal with these preliminary kind of domain types in SQL. Okay. With these domain types, we are going to define our table or relation and what are the attributes present in that we are going to see. So to support that, few commands are available with you. The commands are create table construct. So create table, we just go for this is a keyword, create table, give the table name, that is a relation name, and along with that we can define the aspects. How it can be done? This is the syntax of it. An SQL relation is defined using the create table command. Create table are the keywords, okay, are the keywords of SQL. So create table are, and we are going to define the attribute type, its domain type, attribute name and its domain type in continuous manner. So if you can see the syntax, create table R. What is R? R is the name of relation which you want to give for that table or a relation in relational model. AI, that is A1, A2, A3 till AN, are the names of attributes which will be present in that relation. Attribute means the column names. And D1, D2, D3 till Dn are the respective domain types. So Di is the domain type of AI. That is A1 will have D1 data type, domain type, A2 will have D2 domain type. So these are the terminologies which will be used. For example, whatever uh, data base of banking schema we are using, same I am trying to define here. We are trying to create table branch which has three attributes or three domains are branch name, branch city and assets. So here you can observe how it is defined. I'll just switch on the pointer. So the first domain type is branch name is having character of length 15, branch city of character 30, and assets are of type integer. So there are three. A1 A1 is branch name, A2 is branch city, A3 is asset. D1 is character 15, which is 15 character length. I can make use of varchar also. This is just for example purpose. You can go for any of the domain type which were specified in the earlier slide. So branch city will be of 30 characters and assets will be of integer. One thing which you can observe here is this particular term, not null. So here I am expecting that branch name should never be null. Branch name should never be null. Okay. That means, in other words, I am considering that branch name is a primary key of this particular table, because primary can never be null. It is not necessary that every time you are mentioning not null, that means that item will be primary key. But in this case, as I can assume that branch name is a primary key. Are you understanding me? So this way I can define or use a create table construct. And what is not null now here? Not null is the integrity constraint which I am mentioning on branch name. I want branch name should never be null. Sometimes branch city or branch asset can be a later information which can be entered, but initially when I enter a row, Branch name should never be null. Okay, branch name will be mentioned along with the branch city or branch asset. For time being, it may be null. Afterwards, it can be entered. But if branch name is null, it should not be entered. This is called as integrity constraints. We can mention number of integrity constraints along with that. So what kind of integrity constraints we can mention? We can mention integrity constraints as not null. That means mentioning that value to be never null. Or explicitly, if I want to make any of the attribute as primary key, that also we can mention as a keyword primary key. So you can go for the similar example is now modified. Here in the previous case we were mentioning branch name character 15 not null. Now I am not mentioning not null, but as the fourth line I am mentioning here, I am mentioning primary key as branch name. Okay, so branch name, branch city, assets, its domain types, and last line I am mentioning as primary key is branch name. Primary and key are the keywords. What are the keywords in this particular syntax? Create, table, char character, integer, and primary key. Primary key. Okay, these are the keywords. So with the help of primary key keyword, I can specifically mention or make any of the attribute as a um, primary key. Now if it is a primary key, by default it is understood that it should not be null. So we need not to explicitly mention not null with the branch name, because what we did, we have made it as a primary key. So not null and primary key I can mention. I can mention them together, there is no issue. In this case, I want branch name to act as a primary key, and I also want asset should never be null. That time, that is also possible. So I can mention in front of asset, I can mention not null, and it will become a value which never will be null, but it will not be a primary key. That you understand. Okay. So same thing is mentioned. Primary key declaration on an attribute automatically ensures not null. In earlier cases, in earlier versions of SQL like SQL 89, SQL 90, we had to mention not null along with the primary key, but after SQL 92, the mentioning of not null is avoided because we are already saying that primary key will never be null. Okay, so in this way, with create table command, we can declare all the tables. We can declare all the tables. Okay. Now this is a mentioning of a relation. How can I mention the relationship? Relationship will also be mentioned in the similar way. Only thing is we'll have to mention all the attributes which are the primary keys from previous two, which are the primary key of previous two as not null. That's the only thing we'll have to take care. Like say depositor, create table depositor, account number, say character 10 not null, and customer name character 30 not null. दोनों केस में in both cases we'll have to mention not null, so that uh, it will be understood that this is a relationship table. Okay, so this way we can make use of create table. When we can create table, there is always a need of either deleting that table, or we should be able to modify that table. Modify that table means we should be able to add certain entries. We should be able to add some columns. We should be able to delete some columns. These possibilities we need to work on. Okay, so there are two more DDL language commands present, that is drop table and alter table. Okay, so drop table is a very simple command. drop R. It will simply drop that table. So drop table command deletes all the information about the drop table from the database. It will totally erase that table, that relation. If you are just mentioning drop branch, it is going to delete the entire information. Okay, so that's a very simple command. We'll better go for the next one, that is a alter table command. Alter table command allows you to add few columns into a table, or will allow you to delete few columns from the table. Okay, so the alter table command is used to add attributes to the existing relation. In this way you can do that. So alter table R, add A comma D. So in this case R is the relation in which you want to add the element, add the attribute. A is the name of attribute which you want to add, and D is the domain type of that attribute which you want to add. Okay, as soon as you add that, one column will be added in the relation and all the values in that will be made as null, because we are expecting that there exists a table which already has some information in that. Let us say that we have a table of branch and already 10-15 entries are there, and later we are adding one column. So at that time all the values in that column will be by default made as null. Okay, and then you can use insert command, and you can insert command which we studied in DML, that you can use and you can insert those values one by one. Okay, so this way you'll have to uh, you can add a column in a table. Okay, so and the alter table command can also be used to drop the attributes. If you want to remove some attribute, remove some column from the table, that is also possible. So using alter table R. So basically what you can say, alter table a relation name, alter table R is one command, and supporting are add and drop. So when I say just drop A, that particular attribute, that particular column will be removed from the table. But only care we need to take is that that column should not contain any values that time. Okay, we should make all the values as null first, and then we can remove the table. Okay, in a similar fashion, drop also works. Drop table also works. Drop this is a drop column, and drop table also works. We need to first make the table empty. We need to remove all the information from the table, and then only it is possible for us to drop that table or drop that column. That only thing we need to take care. So alter table add and alter table drop. These are the two commands which you are supposed to work out. Okay. So there are three main commands: create table, drop table, and alter table, which are there in data definition language. We should be very planned before constructing a database. We should be very clear with the schema which has to be there to be implemented, and then only we work on create table or these kind of commands. Okay, so this is about all the three tables. Now it's a discussion of almost half an hour. For next half an hour, what you are supposed to do is we have a banking schema with us with six relations, that is account, branch, loan, customer, depositor, and borrower. I want you to write a create table command. I want you to write a create table command for all six relations, along with the integrity constraints of primary key and normal not null, that you assume by yourself. Okay, you know that which is a primary key, and you know that which value should not be null. So you work on that. I want you to write create table command for all the six relations, and add one column by name customer phone number in customer table, and Date of access. No, don't go for date because date right now you don't know. Street, branch street in the branch table. Okay, so you'll do two modifications. You will do two modifications. One, in the table customer, you will add a phone number, and you will add branch street phone number in customer and branch street in branch table. And third modification is delete the column, delete the column customer street from customer. Okay, so these are the commands you are supposed to write and submit it as an assignment immediately after this lecture. Okay, once the time of lecture is over, and on the Genomio website. Okay, so this is all from my side about this content. Thank you very much.